Hey, what's up YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551. And no, I'm not shooting this in a new background or anything like that. Unfortunately, the light bulb went out, so at the worst time ever in the evening here, so I'll have to wait until tomorrow to at least try to get it fixed and everything like that. So unfortunately, I'm kind of shooting this in the dark. Luckily, I have my little light up here, so at least you can see my face and all that stuff. But enough talking about my problems with my light bulb going on in my room and all that stuff. Why don't we get started with today's video? And for this one is about the reaction to the Nintendo Direct that just happened on Thursday at 6 a.m. in the morning though. As some of you are aware, Nintendo did have a Direct this week that turned out to be true after all. And they showed off what they were showing off. It basically was a Direct Mini, and the response has been kind of, well, mixed at best in terms of some of the stuff they have shown. Though the Direct is only about 14 minutes long. If you missed out on it, I'll have a link in the description though. And after watching the video, I have to say though that while it didn't blow me away or anything like that, it wasn't as big of a disappointment as many made it turn out to be though. So for me though, I didn't come away disappointed though. I wish there were some other announcements they made, but I didn't come away as disappointed as some people were. And there were some good announcements though, but obviously there were people hoping for they announce those big ones, those big games and all that stuff. And unfortunately that did not happen though. So why don't we go through and let me give you my thoughts on what I did like, what I'll probably give it a try, what I do have some concerns about. So why don't we start off first with what I did like though. And the first one I do want to point out is that according to Direct though, we are getting a port of the DS cult classic though, The World Ends With You Final Remix though. From what I understand, it's going to have a new scenario in it, although I wouldn't be surprised if this is the same scenario they put in the ISO device though. I'm personally very happy about this. I remember trying the game out back when it came out originally for the Nintendo DS though. It was a quirky little title, but certainly a fun one nevertheless though. And I'm glad that Square Enix is bringing that title back. Hopefully this one will do well this time around though. And hopefully it does well enough that maybe we'll get a World Ends With You sequel though. I would like to see that happen, but for now, I'm glad that they're bringing that game back bringing it back again. I'm glad it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. And hey, Square Enix, if you're going to remaster or bring back some old games, why not remake and remasters maybe Parasite Eve 1 and 2? I would be down with that as well. The next one, of course, that I did like though was the announcement. And this was couple of rumors that have come out that turn out to be true, mostly, depending on how you want to look at it though. But we do now know that Dark Souls is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and there are plans for a remaster version for the Nintendo Switch. So that's definitely nice. It's a remake of the first Dark Souls games, and on top of that, we also know it's coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC as well. And from what we understand and from what I've been reading across is that it's going to run at in dock 1080p 30 frames per second. No word on what the resolution will be undocked though I would hope that they hit 720p when undocked though. So great that Dark Souls Remaster is coming to the Nintendo Switch. The next one is, and pardon me if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, and that is it's YS though, Persona of Dana. I'll have it in the description, you can read it as well though. This one's an interesting title because I do remember playing it back when it was, I think, released on the PlayStation 2. I remember playing one of the titles though, and I do remember they did release this on the PS4, and now that it's coming to the Switch, I'm definitely looking forward to that one though. I think it had it set for a summer release date though, so we'll have to wait a little bit, but hey, looking forward to playing a fun action RPG on my Nintendo Switch, so that's definitely nice though. The next one, of course, is excuse me one second though. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Apparently, this is basically a combination of both what the Wii U and the 3DS is. So that's all the DLCs, all the content, everything available though. From what I understand, the game will run at 1080p though. No word if there's going to be a graphical option the way, say, Fire Emblem Warriors is. I would like to see that though, and all that. So definitely glad that Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition or Hyrule Warriors is coming to the Nintendo Switch. There have been some reports of when that might come out. They're saying spring, but some outlets are pointing towards March, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. So if you missed it out on the first time on the Wii U or 3DS though, you got a chance to play it on the Switch as well. The next one, of course, is that they did announce a DLC for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, though, and that apparently is a new adventure with starring Donkey Kong in it. Right now, they only showed off a little bit of a trailer, but I am looking forward to see how that plays out. We also got the announcement of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. And that was a good game on the Wii U when it came out, though, even though technically it did virtually nothing for the gamepad, for the Wii U gamepad, outside of, just off TV mode and all. But it's good that the game is getting a second chance, though. I do want to point out one thing that I kind of find sort of interesting, though, and that is, with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle DLC with Donkey Kong in it, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I can't help but feel, and I want to say this is just pure speculation on my part, I could be literally wrong on this though, I can't help but feel that this kind of gives the impression that we might see a Donkey Kong game this year. Whether it's Donkey Kong Country like the 2D ones we've seen with both Return and Tropical Freeze, or whether it's a 3D Donkey Kong game, maybe similar to the approach that Mario Odyssey was, remains to be seen. But I can't help but feel that they're kind of gives the impression that we might see a Donkey Kong game this year. Again, I could be wrong on that one though, but I can't help but shake that kind of feeling out of it. But we'll have to wait and see how it is. So, those are the things I did like though, and I thought those were to me the highlights for the mini direct though. There, of course, you had the announcement of the Pokemon tournament though. Again, I'm not big on Pokemon or anything like that, but I'm sure those who are Pokemon fans will like. Basically, you're getting some new DLCs for Pokemon Tournament DX though, so there you go on that. But overall, these are what I like so far from the Nintendo Direct that was shown on Thursday. Alright, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we come back, I'll get to what I might try out though. So take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video on what I thought about the Nintendo Direct Mini that came out this week. And now that I gave you what I did like, I do want to point out for the second part what I'm probably going to take a look at though and give a try though when it comes out though. It's not as long as what I did like about it. It's only like 3 games I could think of right now of what I might give a try, but it's still one that still caught my attention nevertheless though. So we'll start off with the first one, and that is SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. Now, I did a video, I think it was like a week before, where there was a rumor going around that basically SNK was possibly working on a game for the Nintendo Switch though. And, well, turned out to be true. May not be the game that people were hoping for, but this one might be my but sorry, but you know what, it's a start though. Basically what we're getting is it's an all-female fighting game with all, like, I think the female characters from SNK's games, particularly I think you know like the Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, Art of Fighting as well, which is also available to download on the Switch as well. From what I've read so far, it's supposedly that there will be a 1 button for special attacks and all that stuff. No word if they're going to add like that option to turn on and off everything, from putting up costumes, everything. It looks like it will also support multiplayer and so on. And supposedly it will launch, I believe, during the summer as well. And I also believe it's coming to the PS4. Ironically, correct me if I'm wrong though, but I believe NIS America will be publishing that title, which obviously with Disgaea 5 selling very well, they're obviously opening their doors to bringing out more games and all. So obviously it's not going to be the fighting game for everybody though, but you know what, it's a start, and it's one I'm willing to try out myself though. So we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out though. The next one is going to be Kirby Star Alliance as well. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge Kirby fan in any way. I do remember playing the last one on the Wii U to be exact, and I like the idea with the stylus and all that stuff, but it only limited. It felt like it worked, but obviously it wasn't like the system seller or anything like that. This one's going back to more of the traditional Kirby and all that stuff. So we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out though, but I'm willing to give that one a try. And last but not least though, we have Mario Tennis Ace, which based on, it seems as though this may be the first, you know, all new title, at least from this direct, that we've seen so far on the Nintendo Switch. I mean the first all new one Switch title for this direct, however. And so from what we understand, there's going to be a story mode and so on. So I've dabbled and played a little bit the Mario Tennis games, not hugely though, but they were kind of fun. I'd probably give this one a try. I didn't touch Ultra Smash though, because I heard about the bad reviews about that one though, but I'll definitely give this one a go when this comes out. So these are the three that I might try out as well. So they're interesting though, but I mean, they're not as big as the ones that I like, but they are still ones I want to give it a go and give a try out as well. Alright, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back though, I'm going to give you 3 titles that I do have, or at least 3 announcements they made that I do have some concerns about. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the third and final part of our direct though, or my thoughts of this week's, my 2 cent thoughts on this week's mini direct that came out though. And now that I told you what I liked, what I might be trying out, I will say, I will point out to now what I do have some concerns about, or at least that doesn't as interest me as much as maybe it might interest other people. So why don't we start with the first one, and the first one is the announcement for the DLC for Super Mario Odyssey. For those who are not familiar, we're getting a DLC which has Luigi in it, and basically what you do is you take, so it's like a hide and seek game. You take the balloons and hide them in certain spots, and you can have other players start looking for the balloons and everything like that. Plus, it's a free update though, so it's a free DLC, so it's not bad or anything like that. Personally though, it doesn't interest me. I would have liked to see more single player content. Hell, I would have loved to see us play the game as Luigi, for crying out. Maybe have his own story in Mario Odyssey as well. So maybe I'm asking for too much though, but this one just didn't really interest me as much as, say, like the other stuff, like the DLC for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. But you know what? It's free, so we're not paying for anything like that. They're offering it to us for free, so that's not a bad thing at all, though. It just doesn't interest me in any way. The next one on the list, though, is basically PAYDAY 2 and all. Now, I'm not wailing on PAYDAY 2 being a bad game or anything like that though. I'm sure there are people who enjoy this kind of multiplayer type game. Plus we're getting a time exclusive of a character that can be used in the game. Bear in mind, it's a time exclusive, at least according to what they're saying, which means obviously it will appear in like the other versions as well. The thing that kind of concerns me, and this is the issue I had with Splatoon 2, and that is that, I mean, I understand it's an online multiplayer game. I'm glad they're adding both. I think you could play co-op, like offline or online, but I mean, to me, like with this kind of game, unless you're connected to a server, and given the fact that the Switch is designed as this portable console, I'm a little concerned that unless you're hooked up with another player and everything, then you're not going to be able to play the game and everything like that. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are people who like these multiplayer-only games. This one just doesn't interest me without something that you could play like in an offline mode or like in a single-player mode and all that stuff. Excuse me. that and the fact that Nintendo hasn't done anything, we haven't heard anything about regarding, you know, their online service and everything like that. So maybe there'll be more information, but we'll have to wait and see. They did point out, I think, a launch date of February 27th, so we'll see how that one plays out. Plus, they said about it uses the HD Rumble. It's kind of interesting on that one. And last but not least, and this is one that pains me for seeing this one could impact this title as well, and that is VIII. Now, I did see the title, I did see the gameplay, and it looks visually impressive. It looks like the kind of game I want to play, though. Unfortunately, I have an issue with the fact that it's being published by EA. I'm sure all of you have heard the negativity about EA. I'm sure we all have seen what happened last year with Mass Effect Andromeda, the closing of Visceral's game, and the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 debacle, which I will get to on another video though soon on that one though. But after seeing how that came out, combined with how EA kind of treated Nintendo fans, I'm very worried about this title. I'm very worried about the VIII title because I want it to succeed, but at the same time, given the amount of bad blood EA has pulled, I wonder if this title is going to have a success, and I'm wondering if Nintendo fans in general are willing to give this title a chance, even though they know it's from EA, and EA has a history of sort of giving Nintendo fans the middle finger in general speaking, especially with some of their stuff. I can't forget what they did with the Wii U, how they gave us Mass Effect Take Back the Earth Edition while everyone else got the Mass Effect Trilogy, to basically what happened with FIFA 18, and especially some of the graphical jokes and all that stuff. Though I did hear the game supposedly sold well, or not, so we'll have to wait and see about that one. But I'm a little concerned with this title in general. I want it to succeed, but it's under the EA, being published by EA, which kind of worries me a little bit, considering the reputation EA has received, not to mention the debacle of a mess they made last year, which, quite frankly, say what you will, they deserved it though. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe this title will be good after all, and maybe it won't have the stench of loot boxes and microtransaction, which has become the butt of jokes right now that we're seeing. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm just worried because it's the name EA written on it though. Overall, I have to say, I did enjoy this Direct. It wasn't perfect. Obviously, all of the rumors about some of the announcements didn't turn out to be as true as many people had hoped for, or some that I was hoping for. But there were some good announcements, though. There were some new titles that were announced, like SNK Heroine, Fighting Frenzy, Mario Tennis Ace as well. So and Faye, and some other titles too. But for the most part, majority of these titles seem to be ports, which kind of upset some people, despite the fact that just some of those people are the same people asking for GTA 5 on the Switch, though. But the thing is though, keep in mind, some of these games that were originally released on the Wii U, like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and Hyrule Warriors, though, although they probably sold well, they could have sold more if the Wii U had sold a bit better. And I think by bringing these games over, we get an opportunity to play these games. Excuse me. We get another opportunity to release these games to a whole new audience that may have skipped out on the Wii U. Not to mention, it can also help build up hype for the next entry in the series. Case in point, Bayonetta 2 is being ported over to the Nintendo Switch. That will be out next month as well. That's something that could tide Bayonetta fans over until Bayonetta 3 comes out, with a rumor going around it might be out this summer though, but we'll have to wait and see. So I can understand why some people may be upset with ports, but at the same time, I can also see the benefits of having ports though. Obviously, this Direct though was mostly focused on ports, and with some announcements of what we're getting somehow in the spring though. Obviously, they're going to save some of their big guns like maybe Pokemon or Metroid to probably either to another Direct, or possibly, I think most likely E3, where they'll save it for those kind of events. So, but overall, Not disappointed. I not hugely disappointed though. I do wish some of the rumors that came out that leading up to the direct were true. There were some, like the Dark Souls and SNK working on something, but overall, I still came away pleased. I did like what they announced, though. Could it been better? Yes, but I still came away happy with what they showed at this direct, though. So hopefully we'll have to wait and see what the next direct's going to be. Hopefully they'll probably do one before E3, and we'll see what they reveal with that one. Maybe they'll drop a bombshell like they did with one of the directs when they announced Doom. Maybe they won't. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, it didn't blow me away, but I did come away very pleased with what they announced for it. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video on what I thought about the Nintendo Direct Mini for this week. And again, these are my opinions. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the Direct? Were you satisfied with what you saw? Were you not satisfied? Were you happy with the announcements they made? Or were you not happy at all, though? Do you think some people are overreacting with this Direct? Or you think they have a right to be angry and all that? Do you agree with this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I appreciate if you hit that like button. That would be great. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video. As you already know, lights out in my rooms. It's already evening out here, so hopefully I'll get that fixed tomorrow and all that. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good evening then. Bye!